Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, we'll talk about a very important aspect of your horoscope, which is often being overlooked by many of us. Well, this aspect of your chart determines two things. Number one, the start, the beginning. Number two, the overall strength and prosperity of your career path. Yes, I'm talking about the Lagna Lord, the first Lord of the Shamsha division, the planet, the sign which rules the first house of your D10 chart. Well, what is the Shamsha? The Shamsha is the 1/10th division of your horoscope. 1/10th division of that celestial screenshot which was taken at the time of your birth. And what does this chart signifies? It signifies your present journey, your actions, status, respect, foundation, work, stability. So it is a very important divisional chart. So what does the first lord of the Shamsha signifies? Well, the first lord signifies the start of your career path. How will be the beginning of your professional journey? Number two, your attitude towards work, your approach towards your daily work, daily life, and your professional path as well. Number three, it determines your experiences gained through your professional path, good and bad both. And lastly, it determines the prosperity and the growth which you will attain in your career. So if the first lord is afflicted, if it's in the 6th, 8th, or the 12th house, attaining growth, attaining more prosperity and expansion is difficult. Your professional journey might be very challenging. A lot depends upon which planet rules the first house, in which house of the Shamsha it's placed, and in which sign it is placed. So today we are mainly focusing on one thing. Where is your first lord placed in the Dashamsha division? So we'll talk about all the 12 houses. But what all things you have to take care about? Which planet, which sign rules the first house? Number two, in which house it is placed? Number three, in which sign, in which Dashamsha it is placed? And moreover, there are many other factors which needs to be checked in the Shamsha division. If you haven't watched my Dashamsha video, just go back to that and watch that entire video. You will get more idea how to read the Shamsha division. I will put the link in the description box. So today, just focus on the first lord of the Shamsha and where it is placed. This will straight away determine the strength, the prosperity, and also the start of your career path. So let's begin. If the first lord is in the first house of the Shamsha, then definitely this planet is in its own sign. This is a very strong placement. It will give immense strength to your career path. It makes one much focused towards the career path, and the native may have a great talent associated to that particular planet which is ruling the first house and placed in the same house. Like if Mercury is the first lord placed in the first house, outstanding communication, very sharp and smart energy of yours will help you to complete your work more easily. If Saturn is the first lord placed in the first house, it means you will be well determined, efficient, and disciplined towards your career path, leading to a very strong foundation in future. So that planet, which is the first lord, will deeply influence your skills, approach, and career path. Irrespective of whatever planet rules the first house, this placement of first lord in the first house, it gives immense power to make things work, to correct the drawbacks, correct your weaknesses. You will efficiently do that. Plus, at the work front, you will get a leadership position. And for some people, it could be that they seek freedom at their work front. They want to express themselves. They want to do things according to their own methods. It's difficult to surrender to authority. And with this placement, the only difficulty is it's not possible to stay at one place for all the time. Like constantly, you will look out for new opportunities to make things better, to attain more growth. With first lord in the second house of the Shamsha, safety is the major theme in your career path. Remember, First Lord of the Shamsha is the attitude towards your work. Therefore, the native seeks financial security from whatever career field he or she pursues, and not just financial resources, but work security is something which is really required. A work which can last longer. First Lord in the second house makes one a tremendous worker who can add more value and beauty to the work. Sudden changes may cause a lot of anxiety, or change of a pattern at the work front or change of a plan may make you nervous. For some people, this placement could also mean that you may work along with your family in the family business, or you may help a family member in his or her work, and your family will deeply influence your work and resources. Maybe it's the family who is providing you with resources so that you can pursue a work of your own. And it could also be that the nature of your work is securing the lives of other people, bringing more financial stability and value to their life. First Lord in the third house of the Shamsha is a strong placement. It makes one highly efficient. You will be always ready to make the right efforts no matter how intense or difficult the situation is. Growth is very important, but remember, First Lord in the third house of the Shamsha, growth never happens very quickly. It doesn't happen within a day. It will happen gradually. It may take time. And this can be sometimes quite irritating for you. Therefore, your mind will constantly work on how to make your tomorrow more better, how to enhance your skills, how to enhance your productivity and income. That's why your mindset and energy both will be very different from other people. Like, most of the people might not be able to get on the same page with you because you tend to work very differently. If the first house ruler of the Shamsha placed in the third house is in a good sign, it's not afflicted, you will be blessed with great communication skills. But if it's afflicted, the communication at the work front might get afflicted. You might not be able to speak your mind, or it could be the other way. It's difficult for you to work with the group. If the first lord in the third house is well placed, this means you will be working along with a group of people, and you will be the one who will give directions to other people. So depending upon how the first lord is placed here, is it in a good sign? So depending upon the dignity of the first lord, how it is placed in the third house, group work can be a challenge. Group work can also be a blessing for you, but your work will require a lot of communication and interaction with others. When the first lord is in the fourth house of the Shamsha, in this case, emotional satisfaction from your professional path is the prime focus. Are you happy with your current path? Are you happy with what you are doing? This is the main concern. So you will always chase a professional path which makes you happy, which gives you a reason to be happy every day. You will seek your purpose through your work. That is the situation with the first lord in the fourth house. So you will follow a path which you truly enjoy, and for you, the work environment should be good, it should be stable. You cannot work in a toxic environment, and you do require a job which can give you great security, emotional and financial both. And in fact, it is a very good placement. First lord in the fourth house can help you to establish secure position and finances for future. But if the first lord is afflicted here, then things might change. But it's a difficult placement if you seek constant reassurance that you are good enough, you are performing well at the work front. How the people at the workplace supports you, how they treat you, might become your driving force. It can make you very unhappy and withdrawn from the work. It can make you very dedicated towards your path as well. So the work environment will really impact you deeply. First Lord in the fifth house of the Shamsha is a good placement when it comes to expressing your talents and skills to the world. You will master in a particular skill, and this skill will give you great success. It's not important with this placement like you have attained a degree or a very specific skill. There are some people I have seen, they have inherent skills, they're so good at something, like they haven't even required any kind of training, they haven't taken any kind of education for that. Some people are born with an inherent skill. So first lord in the fifth house, yes, there are people who are born with tremendous skills and abilities. Or it could be the other way, whatever skill you have learned, it might give you great success. You will be a master in that skill. But if this house is associated to malefics like fifth house with Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, it might give some struggles with your education. It might give struggles in using your acquired skills and transform them into something beautiful, like using your skills and creating a better future path for yourself. This might be difficult. So a lot depends upon how the first lord is placed in this house, whether it's in good dignity or not, or it's associated to malefics. It might give a lot of struggles in acquiring knowledge and skills. If the first lord of the Shamsha is well placed in the fifth house, it definitely brings popularity at the work front, and it also blesses one with extraordinary power. And this power is all about the ability to use your skills wisely and efficiently. You may end up with such a role at the work front where you are the one who is more superior than others, or you may have a certain privilege. And with this placement, one tends to follow his or her passion or hobby as a professional field. First Lord in the sixth house of the Shamsha can give a rough start to your professional journey, because it may give a late start or delay, or there might be many obstacles in your career journey. Or it could be other way, like whatever professional path you are following, it can be quite tough and challenging in nature. It may demand great dedication, hard work, and dealing with some strict rules and regulations, or the environment at the work front is very intense. So the basic nature of your profession is to fight and beat the odds. For some people, this placement may bring intense competition at the work front, which would become the ultimate motivation to move ahead. So, this placement might not give a good start. For some people, this may happen, not for everyone. Depends upon which planet rules the first house and it's placed in the sixth house. But it does give a blessing. It helps you to learn a lot about your own powers. It does give great endurance, and this endurance is helping you to become a winner. So, a lot depends upon your inner strength. You are being given this placement to work on your strength, on your endurance, because ultimately it's you who have to be the winner here. Further, displacement might also give a fear about depending on others for your basic needs. That's why you are more like a rebel, like doing your work all by yourself and always looking out for more growth, more success for the future. First Lord in the seventh house of the Shamsha is a good placement for business, as it does give good business sense and skills. Or it's just that your work will always have a connection with public, with the masses. It could be through the business or a creative activity. You will earn great respect. It could be anything like designing, music, entertainment, or maybe client management. You will influence this world in a great way. Business might not be something you might have always wanted to pursue. It is the unfair treatment at the work front which may push you to the path of business, like doing something of your own. Because first Lord in the seventh house of the Shamsha, you're definitely looking out for equality, fair practice, and justice at the work front. So this is something which will push you to create something of your own, or again, it's a very strong placement to connect with the public. Like your work will deeply influence the world, and their love, their appreciation or response will impact your life in a great way. And the very beginning of your career path may start with a contract, collaboration, or a partnership. Again, a difficult placement to make the right choices. You may face a lot of confusion in deciding what is the right path for you, which career path is best for you. You will take a lot of time in figuring this out. With first Lord in the eighth house of the Shamsha, you may appear to be the most mysterious personality at the work front. People may always make assumptions about your nature and personal life. So, at the work front, people may interfere a lot in your personal matters. But a brilliant placement when it comes to talent and potential. It's like you are not aware of your true abilities and you may take time in discovering that. And what a powerful placement! Like you won't allow anyone else to tell you what should be done. Now, a lot depends upon the planet which rules the first house and in which sign it is placed in the eighth house. This will determine your success. And this planet may also indicate the problems which you are dealing with at the work front. Like if Mercury is the first lord placed in the eighth house, misunderstanding, miscommunication with the colleagues, with the people at the work front may happen. So a lot depends upon the nature of planet which rules the first house placed in the eighth house. But it may give a fear related to security and stability of job. No matter which planet is there in eighth house, it may create that fear. And as it is the first lord in the eighth house, sometimes you are the one who is responsible for your own difficulties and challenges. You can create or break your professional path. A lot depends upon your thinking. Do not act impulsive. Do not act out of insecurity and because of the future tensions. So first lord in the eighth house, very beautiful potential, strong potential, which can bring outstanding results, but there are some hardships in the career path. First lord in the ninth house of the Shamsha may take you to different places all across the world. You might not feel satisfied with what you have been achieving through your work. That's why you are moving from one job to another, one place to another to look out for better opportunities. First lord in the ninth house do give a great degree of luck and opportunities in the career path. Like you will be blessed with the right opportunities at the very right time. But if the first lord is afflicted in the ninth house, or the ninth lord is afflicted, things may change. So a lot depends upon who is your first lord and in which sign it is placed in the ninth house. It can enhance your luck, it can affect your luck and prosperity. So first lord in the ninth house is the classic placement of constant learning. The learning process never ends, and a very strong placement for higher degree which will give you more better career opportunities. So overall, this is a very wonderful placement which will keep you way ahead than others at the work front, because your knowledge will be constantly updated and you will always master your craft. And every day you will seek out something new and interesting to pursue. You love to experiment at the work front and you want to do something different every day, every year, every month. You will constantly expand your skills and knowledge. First Lord in the 10th house of the Shamsha is an excellent placement for long-term success and strong foundation. First, this placement makes one highly ambitious and disciplined. Secondly, as a result of that discipline and ambition, the role at the work front gets more strong and impactful with time. And this placement does give a very strong sense of duty towards your work. The growth at the work front may not happen very quickly. There is a lot of weight and hard work required. Constant dedication is required with this placement, but it is also a best placement which is giving you more honor, respect, and fame. You will have a very powerful personality and reputation in the world. And most importantly, you cannot work at such a place where you are not receiving the right respect and the right credit, or things are mismanaged at the work front. Nothing is organized. There is too much of politics. If the first lord is afflicted, like it's connected to malefics, or it's not in a good dignity, it's not in a suitable sign, then it may lead to a lot of struggles and hard work to achieve something. Nothing can be easy here. But the greatest strength about this placement is you can overcome all kinds of obstacles. Nothing can stop you because you have the power to make the right effort. The only drawback of first lord in the 10th house is a constant feeling that you are being judged by others, too worried about your respect and dignity. First lord in the 11th house of the Shamsha is a splendid placement which do bring prosperity, growth, and success in the career path. A highly rewarding placement. There are two things which makes this placement very successful. Number one is the ability to understand how things work. You are being blessed with great intelligence. Number two is the ability to connect and work with a large network of people. Further, there is a quest to experiment and innovate. So these are the things which are enhancing your career path. Therefore, you may end up pursuing two or more different fields. The major drawback of this placement is not being able to feel satisfied with your achievements, especially if the first lord is a malefic planet placed in the 11th house. Constantly, you may look out for achieving more and more success and growth. So it makes one hungry for more growth, more prosperity, more better finances. And first lord in the 12th house of the Shamsha is not an easy placement. The very start of the career is not easy because you may get confused about what should be the right career path for you, which field is right for you. One does follow or try different works, different professional fields before settling down for the one path. Just like the first lord in the 4th house of the Shamsha, here the first lord in the 12th house of the Shamsha seeks gratification and happiness coming through work. You cannot pursue a path which is not making you happy. You are not emotionally connected to that work. So sense of gratification from whatever you are doing is very important. It is your driving force. And this placement may lead to foreign land settlement, or because of work you may travel to faraway places. Sometimes it also leads to loss of opportunity or not being able to make the right use of your platform and opportunities. Self doubt can be a major reason for this. So, finding out the right professional path for you is the major challenge with this placement, and you will be more drawn towards such works which are creative or imaginative in nature, healing in nature, helping others, and it might also give late success in life. One more thing which is very important for First Lord in the 12th house of the Shamsha, well, it is the confrontation, dealing with your challenges face to face. This is something which you need to practice and learn constantly.